Hello, President David Chartrand.
How you doing, Naomi?
I'm
Chartrand?
good. Good afternoon.
Good, good, good. I'm just actually at a um, very important meeting, but it's also a very, some way sad meeting.
Uh-huh.
We're doing the 60 Scoops conference right now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of hurt. People are still hurt,
Yeah.
and still wanting to know like why did it happen and what can be done to help them with their healing.
Right.
They're going through so many different struggles. Some of them were sexually abused, physically abused, culturally abused, and the rest goes on. And of course, Canada's not settled with the Métis 60 scoop. They did settle with the First Nations, but not for the Métis. So that's something that also angers them quite vigorously. Why is the Métis being treated in such a derogatory, discriminatory, and really racial action against why the Métis? And they know the horror stories. They feel them. They went through them. And yet there's no support for them. A lot of them would like to see, of course, the reference to healing, getting some mental supports, getting some psychology supports, help not only for themselves but their kids.
Right.
Because you look at their stories and the hardship in coming back and finding their way home later in their 20s and 30s and broken. And a lot of them would end up turning towards alcohol as a way to relieve the pain that they cannot live with every day that they suffered. And so they of course, the children look at them in such a negative way, So the children's got to be healed also.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get their parents to understand. It's like the veteran story I shared with everybody on Métis Hour. Our veterans came back and there was such a racist attitude by this country that begged them to go and fight for them, and to fight for people overseas that they did not even know, and defend people and die for them, and die for a country that treated them with such disrespect, only to come back to be treated in such a derogatory racial kind of outcome, and be told to go back to your trap lines, go back to the north, go back fishing, and there's nothing there for you yet. Every other non-Indigenous person received that support. So you start looking at that and you say to yourself, like, they got the head start, they got farms, they got education, they got a business. Canada just fulfilled a lot of their obligations. But when it came to Indigenous people, including First Nations, nothing was there for them. And then a lot of our veterans turned to alcohol to stop the pain because they saw such horror out there. They struggled, and they turned to alcohol to fight the pain in their heads, the mental struggle they were facing. So then their kids see them as alcoholics.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing them as heroes, which they were. So there's a lot of healing that's still taking place, and it will be a generation or more that's going to take time to get there. But we got to find a solution. So the same thing with the 60s group. They're going through the same struggles in their minds and their hearts, and being seen today that we still got to fight in the courts to try to get through something resolved. So we'll get there. It's a matter of when. So we did announce today that our government will look at maybe dealing this. I think we have right now 100 registered veteran citizens. There's 400 on the database, 60 Scoop survivors. But we're not sure if they're First Nation or the Métis. Are they veteran citizens, or we're not sure of that. So we're looking at ways of how maybe the Federation themselves can give some financial support in the meantime and fight the government for it later. So that's something we talked about this morning. And so a lot of people are happy to see that the Métis government could be strong enough to at least deal with some of the survivors today before they leave this world. And so that's up in discussions, and people are quite pleased to hear that. But at the end of the day, it's not about getting I think First Nations got $25,000 per person settlement. But it's not about that, because at the end of the day, the conference we had before COVID, it was really about getting the mental support they needed, the health support they needed, to deal with their struggles, because they're going to live with the struggles for the rest of their life. They've got to find a way to find peace in their mind and their heart, and so it doesn't carry on to the children. So that's the struggle they face and the hardship. But anyways, the conference is going very well. A lot of people are interacted. After I did opening, they had a question period that was there. They had the right to ask any question they wanted. So they asked me quite a number of questions, which I was happy to answer. And so we talked about day school, like why was day school settled for, and they're very pleased. They support that First Nations got day school. They're very happy about it, but they're saying, how come the Métis are left out? You know, like why is the Métis again left out on day school? Because the settlement was for the class action was federal day schools. So when you say Duck Bay, Cranberry Portage, and all these other, whether it's the North, Leaf Rapids, and Lake, where nuns were involved, and the Catholic school was involved, and our churches, including the other denominations of churches that were involved in the school, they're saying, well, how come we're not getting any type of respect and settlement? So, and they have a right to say that and a right to question it. But it's a jurisdictional fight now between Canada and the province saying, no, that's not my area, it's your area. So they're blaming each other back and forth. So we're looking at moving a lawsuit. We're talking about that right now. We're involved in a class action, but we're not a party. I don't know what the legal description, but a party means you actually have a say. Intervener means you can just watch and be a participant and listen. So the court only allows us to be intervener. And so we don't have a say to say, you know, how to make sure that the schools are all included. So we're quite concerned about we have to probably file our own, but we'd have to wait for that case to finish now. Right. So the legal system is such bogged up with so much different class actions right now, it'll take forever. Same thing with the 60 school. That's what I'm telling our people. Maybe the Federation can give out 25,000 to 100 Red River survivors of 60 school. Maybe we can settle with 150, that we can find resources in our government and borrow against different departments and see if we can really give that before they leave this world. But at least they leave knowing they got a little bit of justice. But the real challenge they want is the services, the mental and psychological and just family services they would like to have to heal their family. So there's so much that's got to be done. And as I said, we're going to find a solution of moving forward on that. So again, it's I don't know why Kat keeps on showing me the time. It's 2:14. I got half an hour on the show, not 5 minutes. So anyway, she keeps on showing me the time here. But I do apologize for being late for all listeners. I know a lot of people are quite pleased to hear what's going on in the government, and that's what was actually questioned to me. And so people like to listen to Métis Hour because they get updates what's going on in the government, and they can know that there are issues that they're concerned about is possibly being addressed. Now, on other fronts, I had a meeting with SEO, MKO, and AFN. I called an emergency meeting to sit down regarding freshwater marketing company and freshwater fishing business as a whole. I think I've left a message with them that I want to continue to meet and we should find a way to work together on this file because the majority of fishermen today, about 90% of them are all Indigenous, Métis and First Nation. So, but now Canada is asking maybe potentially to put an RFP, which is really for people to say, what the hell is RFP? Is to put out the fresh water for auction, for sale. And so I use the word auction so people better understand it, but RFP is actually to put it up for potential sale. And we're saying, why would you even do that, Canada? Why in the hell would you try to sell it?
Right.
Anyways, we're stating to them, we're watching that at the end of the day, we want to make clear that if we're the majority of fishermen, then we definitely should be the ones that is offered to us. It should be, they took it away from us. This is part of our traditional economy. And I'm saying to them, you should damn well just sit down with the Métis First Nation and offer us what we want to do with fresh water. What do you mean that you're going to put it up for a sale? And at the end of the day, you'll find yourself in a situation where we're going to lose it again. You know, so we had a good meeting. I think the MKO and SEO and Grand Chief Daniels phoned the other day again to follow up. And we're going to continue to meet. I think we have a meeting early this week again. And we need to send out our joint position in the future, I'm hoping. Right now we're doing independently. First Nations are putting in their bid, and we're putting in our bid, our concerns, and our. But I'd rather do it jointly. I think it affects all of us. It affects our villages, our communities, and Métis and First Nation fish together. So I think we need to jointly work hard at this together to keep it under our government, that it's not lost again, and then we have to listen to somebody else and steal from our fishermen again, because this is the only company in Canada that takes 51% of sales away from fishers and gives it to the company. Yeah. So there's no other company like that in the world. And so my view is that it's time we give fishermen their proper prices. That 51% is absolutely ludicrous. and there should be a minimum charge of any operation. And Canada should be funding it like they fund farmers or fund oil companies or forest companies. They should be giving subsidies and supports. So, and fishermen should be benefactored at instead of getting pennies for a dollar. They should be getting dollar for dollars.
Right.
So I'll push that hard, and I'm going to work hard. I know this file very, very well personally. So, and it's something that it does touch me a lot in the sense of meaning that I know how many people it affects and how many jobs it can create. If we do it right, we can take that $62 million fishing company into a $300 million company. So it's just we got to do it right. Anyways, that's an opportunity. We're going to keep on meeting with the chiefs and see if there's a solution of how we can jointly come together. If not, then we'll go independently. But I'd rather us go together. It's my message, and I'm pushing that strong. Also had a good meeting with Minister Adrian Sala. He's the Minister of Finance, also Minister of Hydro. We talked about hydro and wind power, and so we're going to continue that dialogue. And there's a policy being created by the government. Of course, we're looking at the need in the future is going to be there. There's not a question about it. And so the Federation is going to be putting in some suggestions of what we see in the future, what we believe in the future should be how our government can participate in putting up wind power and actually being involved to help the shortage of power that Manitoba needs because it sells its power in the United States, Saskatchewan, Ontario. In the future, we want to be a player in that and not just looking from the outside. We want to be a true partner. So it may be a $200-300 million initiative. It could be more that we'll put in. But we're definitely looking at it right now, and I'm going to continue positive discussions with the minister moving forward. So also we had a meeting with federal MVP Leah Gazan at Winnipeg Centre. We talked about the treaty and so for her to get a better understanding of what the treaty is and what it's all about and how it changes basically the principles for us, but how it really changes the essence of respecting our government and showing that the treaty was promised in 1870 becomes reality now. So that was a good discussion, and she's going to reach out to her leader, Jagmeet Singh, for me to have a meeting with him. And actually his office called, and then I will be having a meeting hopefully very soon. Also, the Premier Business Council, I sit on there. I was asked by Premier Rob Pinot to sit on the Economic Reconciliation Subcommittee. And Jennifer Nepinak and Canada Life, Paul Mahan is the chair and co-chair. We had a very good discussion, very good meeting. And there's many others, Bob Silver, Connor, and Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce, and so forth. So I'm sharing with them some of my ideas of what reconciliation economics should look like, and how we could respect what Métis First Nation. So, anyways, let's not to forget, I also did a presentation at the River East School, collegiate, grade 11 students. I had a chance to, where actually my daughter asked the school, and actually the principals, Métis from Chartrand, and they reached out to me and they wanted me to speak there. So my daughter goes to that school, and I was very proud, and she was so proud to see her Papa walk in there and give a presentation of the identity of the Métis and who we are and what does MMF government stand for and what we do. So also an update on the Métis Cost of Living Supplement. It ends March 31st. We've now had that program, I think, going on over 2 years. And we've given out 9.5 million, I think, in support to our citizens. So it comes to the end March 31st of this year. So one more month, it'll be the program will come to an end. But one of the good things I'm proud of, we stuck through after COVID. We stuck on and continue to support our people and our students, our families, our elders, and helping them with the cost of living because it's so expensive. But the prices are coming down, which I'm proud to see. Gas has come down. Cost of living with the lowest in Canada at 0.8. So I know that it's still hard, but all of our programs will still continue. Our free firewood program, all of the other programs we provide, our free pharmacare, meaning our 55-plus free medicine to our citizens. All those other programs still continue. But this particular program it'll come to an end because, as I said, it cost us $9.6 million, but it's worth every penny. So I want to thank all those people for their kind words. No matter where I go, a lot of people have reached out and said the supplement program is so appreciated because it meant so much to us. Yes, it gave us some relief of costs ourselves, but again, they're so proud that the government was there through the toughest of times, and times are not going to be easier tomorrow. But the prices are slowly coming down, and which was our intent to work with them as long as we can. And as I said, we gave out $9.6 million, which I'm very, very proud of as the Métis government to our people, and the people are so proud of it, and I want to thank them all. Also tonight, I'm going to another function after I leave here. It's the first time the Asian Women's Association has recognized an Indigenous woman for their award, and that's Anita Campbell.
Oh, nice.
She's being recognized for a Distinguished Service Award by the Asian Women's Association of Winnipeg. So I'm proud of her, and I can't wait to stand there and watch her, or sit there and watch her when she gets the award. And we can, and of course, we'll have some of our women there to give her support. And of course, it's International Women's Day on March 8th, on Friday. And again, given we are a matriarchal society and maternal nation, it was a great day to recognize women, which we've always recognized us.
Yeah.
And, that's something very important to us. And as you heard me on the show, you can have your differences, disagreements, or separations, or breakups, and all the rest of it, but you never, ever try to touch or abuse a woman. And that's something we'll never tolerate for anybody. I don't care who it is. It could be my brother, it could be my sister, it could be my cousin. It doesn't matter. Abuse is not welcome in any home. Mm-hmm. And so it's International Women's Day, and women are making a big, big change. And, of course, in our government, it's always made a change. So, again, it's a proud day for us to have that. And so that's something I think we look forward to moving on. So on another note, I will actually be taking my daughter on some trips that I've been planning for 3 years. Mm-hmm. My granddaughter. I keep on calling her my daughter because we raised her in Ugorian.
Right.
She's my granddaughter, but she was, I think, 12, going on 13 at the time. I had to go to Paris, and she wanted to come so badly, and she was so angry with me. She cried, and she wanted to come to Paris. And I said, "My baby, you're too young." And I said, "Well, I promise you this: when you turn 16, I will take you to Paris on your spring break." Aww. So our spring break is coming, and March 22nd, we're going to Paris for a little over a week, and I'll make my promise real. And as I said, she's just so proud right now. She's looking through the internet and all to see what she's going to see, want to see, and want to do. So I always, as everybody knows on the show, I keep my word. That's something very important to me. So I never forgot that promise I made to her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Next week, we're in Cabinet. There's a meeting in Thompson. We're leaving Wednesday for Thompson. I got to go to a funeral first on Wednesday, and I'll talk shortly after prayers in the funeral. I'm going on Wednesday to that funeral before I leave, and then I'm heading off to Thompson. We have a 2-day cabinet meeting, and the regional meetings taking place. So we're gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday meetings, and I'm coming back on Saturday night, traveling, because I got to catch a plane on Sunday. I'm heading out to Ottawa. I'm meeting with senators and ministers and other dignitaries regarding the treaty. So I'll be gone out there for all week. And I come back and I'll go to take my granddaughter on the promise I made. So, but I'll be every weekend so far. I've been working in the last month, so never stop. So things are happening. Good things are happening. So, which I'm very proud to see. I was quite pleased to see so much cabinet ministers here at this meeting today. I think there's 150 survivors here today.
Wow.
And some of them are gay, but the majority of them are 60 swoop survivors. Mm-hmm. So it's good to see that they know their government has their back and we're working towards finding solutions for the future. Now, I want to thank Elder St. Cyr for prayers and for holding up again for us, as usual. But let me say, first, I said I'm going to a funeral on Wednesday before I depart for Thompson. And I'm going to a funeral of Mickey Melvin Pronto. Leukemia took his life. He's got a couple of kids, and his wife, Brittany Pronto. And, of course, condolences going out to Elaine Pronto, and the father was Melvin, big man. But the leukemia, as I said, was fighting for it for the last 2 years and struggling to live, and he ended up losing his life and being taken away from this world. So as prayers go out to the Pronto family, and I remember Mickey coming to my house as a kid. He can spend many nights there, and we'd watch movies and popcorn, and it was a big treat for him to come to the house, and we'd spoil him like crazy. They're over for the weekend. So again, our prayers definitely from myself, Dorian, and the rest of the family go out to the Pronto family. And I will personally attend that funeral before I depart for Thompson. Also, I want to say happy 78th birthday going to my brother-in-law, German. Everybody knows him as German, who celebrated his birthday on Friday, March 9th. He's 78 years old now. He still can walk like a madman. He can walk fast, and he used to be a bushman. He worked in the bush all his life, and a fisherman and trapper. Happy 46th birthday is going to Tanya Vincent, president's office, who is celebrating her birthday on Sunday, March 10th. She's a good addition to my office. She's a hard worker. And she's very on the ball. And so Amanda made a good choice. So Tanya, thank you for coming to work for the President's office. Happy 27th birthday is going to Taylor Fleming Leclerc.
Oh,
big one. That's going out from, of course, PJ and the wife and family and team here going out with Dustin, myself, everybody saying happy birthday, Taylor. Taylor, of course, is one of our champion fiddlers,
Yeah.
and she's also working in our tree program in the environmental section side. And of course, as people know, we will have jobs in the greenhouse that we're building, and we're still building. By the way, we're still building those greenhouses
Nice.
in the regions, which will grow about 100,000 pounds of food a year. And we're also building our garden boxes. And I'm still. I was in St. Eustache, and I hope Debbie is listening. I want some of those eggs you guys gave me. Those are damn good eggs. I want those free ranging chicken eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Some Métis families there have some little chicken coops in their yards. So if anybody wants to donate some eggs from St. Eustache, please tell me. I want some eggs. I actually really love farm eggs, but I do like eggs.
Yeah.
But it's far different than you get those eggs from Costco, so far different tasting. Anyways, the greenhouse tree company is going to be announced very soon. We'll be there to probably cut the ribbon. We're inviting some ministers from Canada who supported our initiative, and we'll be creating jobs there. Also, happy 77th birthday is going to Interlake Region Elder Greg Balmer. I was actually in a meeting here today with his family and friends. So happy 77th birthday going out to Greg again. Greg's always at these meetings. I'm very proud to see him there. He's always reaching out to see if he can support in any way. Even at 77, he wants to make a difference and help out in any way he can. So I also want to say kudos to my nephew, Daniel, who's playing, of course, with Port Huron, and his second star last night in the game out in I believe it was in Toronto or outside of Toronto, maybe in the United States section. He's playing with American Senior League. So
Nice.
he scored some goals and assists, and he came second star last night. So kudos to you, Daniel. I hope you're listening. I hope my sister's listening. She's out there watching her son play for the weekend, and he plays with an American team out in Michigan. So again, with that being said, again, to our elders, thank you very much for your guidance and support and your wisdom, and to our youth, to keep on being proud and stand firm, stand believing who you are. You're a true Métis, forever citizen of our government, and we need to proudly defend who we are, because many out there still would find ways to bring us down. Let's make sure they can never be allowed to do that. So take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys next Saturday. Take care.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.